Hello friends, it's Kik here, and in today's episode we've got a lineup that includes the first Neuralink patient with a brain implant showing how they can play chess on a computer using just their mind. Elon Musk, who announced that the next Neuralink implant will grant vision to the blind. The android from Unitree, the first to perform a backflip without hydraulics. The Norwegian robot 1X, which is learning at an incredible pace. Radia Windrunner, soon to be the world's largest cargo plane, and the startup Interlude, which plans to mine the incredibly valuable HELIUM-3 on the moon. All this and much more right now. Let's get started. Today we begin with the first paralyzed volunteer who underwent surgery to install a Neuralink implant into their skull, allowing them to learn to control a cursor on a laptop purely by thought. The company published a new video demonstrating the new physical abilities acquired by the volunteer after this surgery. 29-year-old Nolan, who lost mobility in all 4 limbs 8 years ago following a spinal cord injury and feels nothing below the shoulder level, was in high spirits during the new broadcast, smiling a lot and joking. According to him, the implant surgery was very easy to undergo and he was discharged from the hospital the next day. After some training and equipment adjustments, he learned to control the laptop screen cursor with his thoughts, and the emergence of such an ability was so emotionally stirring for him that he woke up at 6 in the morning, eagerly awaiting access to the coveted laptop. Having tried his hand at the strategic games Civilization 6 and chess, Nolan preferred the latter, and at one point was so engrossed that he could hardly wait for the implanted battery to be recharged for further experiments. It's worth mentioning that the implant's battery lasts for several hours of continuous operation, after which it needs to be replenished using a special pillow with wireless charging functionality. It is assumed that the serial version will be charged while the patient is in bed and asleep. The first patient with a Neuralink brain implant admitted that the company's technology is not without flaws, but he is convinced that it is just at the beginning of its journey, and even in its current form, its developments have significantly changed his life. Elon himself also announced that the next Neuralink implant will even restore vision to the blind. Musk's bold promises are usually met with skepticism. He has often overestimated the capabilities of his companies. However, after demonstrating the telepathy chip, which allows controlling a computer with the power of thought, confidence in his words has increased. Impressed commentators compared the implant to a computer mouse built directly into the brain. The new implant is named Blindsight. It is currently being tested on monkeys. No primate has been injured or died after implantation. All test animals are doing well. Elon says that initially the resolution of artificial vision will be low, like old Nintendo consoles, but will then be improved to normal human vision and even better. For those blind from birth, the opportunity to see the world will be a fantastic breakthrough. We can't wait for this breakthrough technology. And to not miss this historic moment, we strongly recommend subscribing and hitting the bell. Continuing on, the bipedal robot H1 from the Chinese company Unitree became the first android to perform a backflip standing without the use of hydraulics. Why is this remarkable, you ask? Because humanoid robots like Atlas from Boston Dynamics, which has been performing backflips for several years, use heavy and potentially non-hermetic hydraulics to jump into the air, perform a flip, and then land on both feet. H1, on the other hand, uses only its own M107 electric motors. Each leg has 3 degrees of freedom in the thigh, 1 in the knee, and another in the ankle. The upper limbs have 4 degrees of freedom. All cables are laid inside, so the robot does not snag on anything and looks very neat. Unitree used reinforcement learning modeling to teach H1 to flip. In the video, it succeeded, but in the end, it made an extra jump because it initially landed in an unstable position. The android's height is 1.8 meters, it weighs 47 kilos, and can carry up to 30 kilos of payload. It does not yet have grips on its arms like Tesla Optimus or Figure 01. A sensor array, including 3D LiDAR and an Intel RealSense depth camera, is installed on its head to scan the surrounding world. The specifications mention a replaceable battery with a capacity of 864 Wi, but these characteristics might still change. We previously told you about the world record for running speed at 12 km/h. The company expects the commercial device to reach a maximum travel speed of about 18 km/h. And since we started with robots, let's continue with them. The robotics company 1X, collaborating with OpenAI, decided to showcase its achievements in the development of humanoid robots. The complexity of tasks has advanced significantly in a very short period. Eve demonstrated multi-step task processing. It unpacked a bag of groceries, decided where to store them, and also opened and closed the cupboard door after storing them. The robot also used soft tools, in particular, wiped up a spilled liquid with a cloth. The absence of thumbs did not prevent it from folding all 4 flaps of a cardboard box together. Finally, the humanoid folded a shirt, which required delicate handling of deformable surfaces. The latter is a side jab at Tesla, which in January demonstrated its bot Optimus performing the same task, but later admitted that the robot was remotely controlled by a human. However, Optimus is also built on an artificial intelligence model capable of learning. Perhaps the next update will be just as impressive. This rapid development of humanoid robots is already being called the GPT-3 moment for robotics. Androids are taking their first steps into the real workforce. Digit from agility Mobility at Amazon, 01 from Fig at BMW, and Apollo from Aptronic at Mercedes-Benz. Meanwhile, researchers at Cornell University have introduced a robot assistant designed to help humans in the cooking process. The development can already assist in preparing 6 different dishes and can understand human speech through voice commands. Engineers have developed the modular MoSei architecture, allowing robots to perform household tasks and even assist in cooking. The system includes an interactive task planner, an architecture for object identification and robot motion planning, and a module for predicting human movements. The authors conducted 60 trials using 2 robotic systems, the mobile manipulator Stretch Robot RE1 and the desktop manipulator Franca Emilka Research 3. Both modules helped a human prepare 2 types of salad, 3 varieties of soup, and a tuna sandwich. Researchers at Cornell University are now working on improving the basic components of Mosaic to enhance its performance. Furthermore, Mosaic could become the foundation for new research and future robotic systems. In South Korea, an AI-created news anchor named Jaina, meaning News and AI, has started broadcasting. The AI anchor hosts a daily news program on a local YouTube channel. Neural networks generated not only the girl's appearance, but also handle news searches, script creation, and text reading. According to the creators, the program costs only 41,000 rubles, approximately 550 per month, which is tens of times cheaper than producing a similar content with live people. Now let's take to the skies. Radia Windrunner promises to become the world's largest cargo aircraft. The gigantic 108-meter aircraft is designed for transporting massive loads in cases where conventional delivery is not possible. For example, for giant wind turbine blades. It was the transportation issues with this component that prompted Radia to create a new generation cargo aircraft. Windrunner can stretch the length of a football field with a wingspan reaching 80 meters. At a height of 24 meters and with a front part that includes the cockpit being foldable, the aircraft can transport parts up to 105 meters in length and 7.3 meters in diameter. The air vehicle can carry a payload of 72.5 tons over a distance of up to 2,000 kilometers. The cargo compartment volume of Windrunner is 8,200 cubic meters. To make the delivery process even more efficient, Radia intends to place the runway as close as possible to the factories producing the blades and another close to wind power plants. The company has received $104 million in funding. Windrunner is expected to reduce the cost of clean energy production by 35%. Radia plans to spend 4 years on the development, testing, and implementation of the project. And what would Kik be without space? Friends, have you ever heard of HELIUM-3? It has started being used in several new industries such as quantum computing and nuclear fusion reactors, but its reserves on Earth are scarce. When 2 photons combine with 1 neutron and 2 electrons in the process of nuclear fusion at the center of the Sun, this combination produces high-energy helium-3 particles. Then the solar wind disperses these particles to different planets. When they reach Earth, most of them cannot penetrate through the magnetosphere. However, the Moon, lacking an atmosphere and magnetic shield, constantly receives a multitude of high-energy particles. Preliminary estimates suggest that the Moon has about 1.2 million tons of helium-3, priced at $4 billion per ton. This rare isotope could satisfy the demand for clean energy and lay the foundation for a multi-billion-dollar industry. The startup Interlude claims to have the technology to mine helium-3 efficiently and sustainably. Interlude was founded by astronaut Harrison Schmitt and Rob Meyerson, former president of the space company Blue Origin, owned by billionaire Jeff Bezos. Together, they lead the development of a program to land a robot on the Moon, which will identify the main helium-3 deposits. However, Interlude is not the only organization eyeing the Moon's helium-3 reserves. Last summer, NASA announced plans to develop the Moon starting in 2032. Mining natural resources is an integral part of NASA's Artemis lunar program, and so it's safe to say that the space race for lunar resources has already begun. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to not miss a fresh portion of handpicked news. Goodbye!